Hey there, and welcome back to Spellhammer Farms, Spellhammer Grasslands. I don't know what to call it yet, but we are out here surviving, still living out of a tent. Not great, but we got a big equipment upgrade over the last few episodes, and we're able to actually make some money. So we're at $19,000 after sleeping because of leasing costs, of course. We have a field of grass still growing and another one still growing. So no mowing to do today. But we have enough money to maybe start looking into production. So that's the first thing I want to do is jump into that. I thought about going with animals, but I think they're going to be just too expensive. I also really want this baler wrapper, but it's going to cost too much money. We would have to do at least a few transport contracts to be able to afford it. And then we'd also have to lease a new tractor because it requires 145 horsepower, which we do not have. So just too expensive at the moment. But it would be nice to get into silage. So maybe after we have at least one production running, we can have enough money to do that. So in terms of productions, what can we afford? I think the only thing we can afford is a greenhouse or a small chicken coop. So let's take a look in the construction menu. We've got a nice little spot right here to put something small. So let's take a look. We don't want anything that's not going to produce income at the moment. So under production, generators would be nice. They're also kind of a cheat code, I feel like. $648 a month. We could afford one of these. We want to offset our leasing costs, and our leasing costs right now are about $3,000. So it would take quite a few of these to do that. So we don't want to do that. Let's take a look at the animals really quickly because chickens are interesting to me. I feel like eggs are decent money, but this small coop just doesn't have enough chickens in it. You can't put more than 30. And I feel like it would just be very slow to make any money, judging on previous playthroughs. This big chicken coop, however, has some potential, so we'll keep that in mind. What about bees? I've never really done bees. What do they require? So it doesn't look like they require any inputs, but they do produce pallets of honey. That's interesting. No indication on like what the production rate is. So that's a bit of a gamble. I don't think I want to do that. So chickens are out. Sheep, we almost have enough for a small sheep pasture, but again, I don't know how much they produce at, 15 sheep. How much wool would we really be getting? No idea. So I think animals are out. So let's go back over to productions. And obviously these big expensive factories and stuff are not going to be in the ballpark of what we can afford today. So selling points are no good. Orchards are too expensive to have enough equipment to do anything with them. So back to greenhouses. And actually, I didn't realize this, but we can afford the large greenhouse. Do we have room? And we have room for it. We could actually fit a couple of them over on this corner, which would be nice. Where do the pallets come out at that side? So we probably want to flip it around. And we could just start a little roadside stand kind of situation, even though we're actually going to have to ship the pallets off and sell them at the sell point. But all this takes is water. So if we spend $10,000, we then have about $9,000 left to figure out a water tank. So I think this is the way I'm going to go. Let's go ahead and drop that in. And that land looks pretty nice and flat, so that's awesome. So now we have our first production. We do need some water. So let's jump into the store and see if we can afford to just outright buy a water tank. That would be good. I think that's going to be under animals, right? Yeah. So we can afford this big one, 7,300 liters. This one's really small. I've used it before for greenhouses, and it takes a lot of back and forth, and we don't have a water source on our property. So I think I'm going to go with this one. That's going to put us in a rough spot as far as money, but we can do transport contracts to make our $3,000, which we know is what we need each day, and then we'll have a really good water tank. And we'll own this. We're not leasing it. So that's huge. That's a big sign of progress. So we've got that. Now, what do we pull it with? I'm not quite sure. Maybe the tractor, maybe the truck. The truck feels like overkill, so I think I'm going to take the tractor down there. Now, we could mow all this meadow here, but I'm not quite that desperate yet. For now, we'll stick with mowing our grass fields, but let's get over to the store and grab that water tank, and then we're going to scope out somewhere to get some water. Hey, is this what I think it is? Oh, yeah, look at that. Is this a creek? Come on. Kind of. It's dry. I don't know if there will be enough water there. We'll check, but it wouldn't really make sense to be able to get water from that dry old creek bed. All right, our first piece of bought equipment in a while. This is really a sign that we're starting to make progress, despite the fact we only have $361 in the bank at the moment. You know what? It's going to be fine. As long as I could line this up, I think it'll be fine. Let's see. Everything hinges on this. Boom. There we go. Now, the quest for water begins. I want it to be close to our property. I mean, there's a pond. Yeah, that would probably work. Got a nice, easy slope. I want to go up here and check this dry creek bed, too, because it's a little closer. Surely there's not enough water in there to fill this up. But you know what? If it lets me do it, we'll say that there is. And the nice thing is we can just pull through and no. Thank you, game, for having some realism in that regard. I know it's a simulator, but it lets you get away with some things that you probably shouldn't be able to sometimes. But not in this case. We can go over to this pond. Now, I wonder who owns the pond. It might be a city retention pond, in which case they're probably going to have an issue with me taking water out of it. But maybe not. What's this sign say? No loading your tanker. No fishing, no swimming. Doesn't say anything about taking water. So we're going to go with it. Got to take risks every once in a while. Oh, yeah. There we go. Maybe. Should get a fill. Oh, there we go. It didn't prompt me, but it worked. And this holds a lot of water, so we're only going to have to make a few trips here. That's going to be fantastic. First, 7,300 liters of water gotten. Now, will the tractor pull it? It will, but it's heavy, so we're probably going to have to take our time getting back to our land. Ooh, that hill is rough. Look at those tires spinning. It's really having trouble with it. But now that we're on pavement, we should be okay. Back with our first load. So I've swapped over to the big truck for carrying this water because that tractor was really struggling up the hill, and it would have taken a long time to do just about anything. I do wonder if there's some water this way, a little bit closer, so I'm going to go down this lane and just explore for a minute. Looks like a creek over there, but I think that's the edge of the map. What does this farmer have going on? Howdy, neighbor. Oh, I hope you don't mind. I'm just on your property, and probably going to get stuck and have to go through your yard. Hopefully no one's home. Now let's see if I can avoid destroying their fences. Did not think this one through. And, oh, almost did it. Yeah, no water. No water here. So we're just going to go back to the pond that we have already used and fill up there. There we go, filling up, and hopefully this truck will do much better. One thing I thought about, I don't know if there are any, but if there are any houses with pools in Elm Creek, we could probably make some money hauling water to those at the beginning of summer. I know in real life it costs like $175 to get 2,000 gallons hauled, so not sure what that is in liters. I think it's like 2-something gallons per liter. Could be wrong about that, but point being, it's an alternate kind of role-play based method that we could use to make some extra money during the summertime. Maybe if there are houses with in-ground pools or above-ground pools. We'll have to check in kind of the suburban areas as we're going through next time. And this truck is doing much better than the old tractor. It's slowing down uphill for sure, but not near as much as the tractor was. So this will be much faster. So I'm going to go ahead and get this greenhouse filled up, and then we'll decide where to go from there. Is that a sheep crossing sign? Huh. Maybe that's a sign, literally, that I need to have some sheep. We'll see. Eventually I wouldn't mind having some sheep. Let's take a look at our greenhouse and decide what we're going to produce. I think we're just going to do lettuce because that seems like the easiest. So tomatoes, 1 water to 1 tomato, 1,536 cycles per month, which I assume it's 1 tomato per cycle. Lettuce, 2 water to 1 lettuce, about half the cycles. And then strawberries produces a lot more, same amount of cycles as tomatoes. So what are these selling for then, I guess is the question. Let's take a look at our prices for things like lettuce, tomatoes, and strawberries. Where are they at? Here we go. So lettuce is $3,400 at the highest point. Hey, the bowling restaurant buys these things. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so we can make a deal with them to sell them the produce since we're right behind them. That's awesome. So strawberries are cheaper, but you produce twice as much. So that would be about $1,600 at the bowling restaurant. Tomatoes, $1,700. Lettuce has the highest price. I don't know. I think we'll try lettuce for now and then change it up if we need to. Let's turn that on and then let's set it to distributing, right? Storing. Distributing would go to my other production points, I think. So I think I need storing. There we go. So we should have some pallets of lettuce to work with eventually. I'm going to leave this tank right here and get this truck loaded up to our flatbed because I don't think we have anything else to do today. So the only thing I can think of to do is some transport contracts to get our $3,000. We'll see if there's one that will cover it. And if there is, fantastic. We'll do one transport contract and then take the rest of the day off. But let's take a look and see. Well, there is. Let's see. Feed and grain south, 3,402. I would like to make a little bit more than the bare minimum. I know biomass energy is pretty close, and that's 4,000. This one delivers back to the bowling restaurant. Let's see if we can take that one. That one sounds good. All right, so let's figure out where the oil mill is at. Our pickup point should have an icon somewhere. Here's one. Is this it? No, that's the restaurant. Where's the other icon? Oh, right down here. Perfect. So just across from the store. Perfect. Let's get moving and get over there to perform this transport mission. And I am going to keep calling them missions. The reason is I'm pretty sure the mod is called transport missions. So it kind of threw me off from the beginning. But in the game, I think they're called contracts. So, you know, we'll just kind of float between those two terms until somebody tells me it annoys them, and then I'll really work on getting it straight. So this one contract will cover our leasing costs for the next day, and then some. So we'll have, you know, maybe $800 left over after we sleep, which is okay because I think we'll be able to start mowing tomorrow. If not, we'll at least have some lettuce to sell. So that will be good. Hopefully it makes us a good amount of money. I mean, $3,000, which should be per 1,000 liters, is not bad. We should have, so $3,000 a pallet, right? I mean, I don't know how much is in a pallet. It might be 500 liters. We'll just have to see. I think I just passed my destination. Let's flip around. Sorry, cars. Yeah, there's the oil mill. Oh, there's the pallets. Okay. Let's, oh man, this is a tight location, and I think I'm hooked on something back there. Yeah, definitely am. We'll get through this one way or another. Let's just swing it out a little bit, and boom, we're through. Now hopefully we can get out without wrecking stuff. Looks like we can go that way. So we'll just park. Oh, jeez. Luckily we can turn very tightly with this trailer. Yeah, we'll just park in an L Tetris shape. Perfect. Turn this off and unfold our trailer, and let's get this thing loaded. Well, that worked out just swimmingly. I'm glad we had this new skid steer because the other one definitely would not have done very well with that. I was able to do 2 at a time, but it still was pretty heavy, and we kind of tipped once we raised up our forks with the load on there. But we were able to get through it, so now we just need to get this over to the restaurant, actually. Let's get these strapped so they don't go flying. It looks like canola oil. Perfect. That makes sense for a restaurant to need that. Is that a... I guess that strap is holding those two. We'll see. Let's fold this up and see if we can get out of this parking lot. That's the next challenge. Looks like we're good so far. These shipping containers are cool. I wonder if there's a mod for placeable shipping containers or like a shipping container tiny house. That would be awesome. That would be a good upgrade from our tent. So let's drop these off at the restaurant right by where we live, which is nice because then we'll be back home. Maybe by then there'll be... Sorry, you can go. That was rude of me. Still rude. Sorry. All right. Maybe there will be some other contracts. This traffic is being real weird right now. Yeah, they honked. Okay, perfect. Maybe there will be some other contracts, but at the current time, all we have... Sorry, stop sign. I'm going to get banned from this town by the time this is over. I'm stealing water from the reservoir. I am knocking over signs, blocking traffic. I'm not a very good citizen, but maybe we'll be able to improve things. Anyways, I noticed there aren't any other contracts at the moment. Maybe because it's winter and all the farmers are off for the winter, which is kind of a bummer because I wouldn't mind doing some contracts for some farmers, like some harvesting and stuff. Because our long-term goal is to turn those grass fields into actual crops. And the best way to learn how to do things like that is to work for somebody else that already does it, right? So we need to find us a mentor and kind of learn the ropes a little bit. I am coming at this from the wrong angle. Let's go around the back. I'm going to leave the truck running because this shouldn't take long to unload. Let's get these dropped off in the drop-off zone and get paid. There we go. Mission accomplished. Let's go ahead and get this completed. Get that money in the bank. And $4,455. Why do we only have $3,515? That's weird. Maybe that's a bug. I don't know. That's okay. It's enough to cover our leasing costs, which was our main concern. Now, like I said, the only things we can do are transport contracts, but I don't really want to spend the entire video doing those. So I'd like to get to where we're selling some lettuce. That would be awesome. So we may call it an early day today since it's winter and there's not a lot we can do. The grass is growing slowly. This one should be ready to harvest, at least this half. I want to wait until the whole field is ready though, and then we'll do some grass. Maybe by then though, we can afford a baler and a tractor that can run a baler. That's the real expense, is the tractor, because we want to wrap the bales and do silage, but you need a pretty... There's another sign. I'm so sorry. You need a pretty big tractor, horsepower-wise, to do anything with a baler wrapper. I've already got 38 liters of lettuce. Fantastic. So I think we are going to call it an early day. Let's head back over to our tent and take the rest of the day off. Well, winter is definitely not over. We have no growth on this field, really. It's nice and frosty out. Let's check our other field. I thought the grass would grow all the time, but maybe it doesn't grow in the winter. Still growing, and that's obviously still growing. Do we have any lettuce? Looks like we might have one pallet. $482, so again, we're going to have to make sure we hit that $3,000 mark. Keep things going. We'll check on the greenhouse, see how much water we have. If we need to do some more water hauling, we definitely have some lettuce. Is it... Okay, it's 500 liters, so that should be about $1,500. The greenhouse has 186 liters in storage. So it's not really fast, but it should produce about, $3,000 every couple of days, which seems good. We have plenty of water, so we're not going to have to haul water in a while. We do have some more transport missions and some higher paying ones, which is nice. Probably we'll do this one. I'll go ahead and put that on the books. They won't be too picky about when we show up. But we really have to get some variety going because I don't want to just be hauling pallets all the time. I really want to get into baling and silage. So let's see what we have as far as sales in the store. Do we still have we have a baler, but no wrapper. This is interesting. This is a cool bit of logging equipment. And a cultivator. We'll need that eventually, but we don't need it right now. So let's see how much it would cost. I don't think we have enough to even check the price of leasing a baler wrapper, but let's see. We can kind of estimate probably. What's the cheapest one? 78,000, 84. We could also do a silage pit, but those are kind of a hassle. Though, honestly, that makes way more sense because we already have the forage wagon. Let's see how much one of those is. That would be good if we could get enough to buy a silage pit today. I need to go to construction. I think it's under silos. Yeah, I don't think it's called a silo. It's called a bunker silo. So we have this little one, and little's actually pretty big for these. This little, oh, that's a manure heap. Yeah, that's interesting. So I guess this is the one that we would need. It is gigantic, and you can only place it a certain couple of ways, so we'd have to find a good spot on our land to put it. Don't really have a good spot. Maybe here? Have to take up a little bit of that grass field. That would be all right. Oh, we could do that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this is probably the way to go because then we don't need a new tractor or anything. So our goal is going to be to do enough transport missions to buy this and have $3,000 left over for the next day. So we need about $28,000 before we sleep again. I think we can do it. Even just this one contract we have is going to be 6,900, another 6,000, 5,000. So I think we have enough to reach our goals, but it's going to be a busy day of transport contracts. So I'll probably do those and then jump back in with you once the money is in the bank. And you know what occurred to me? You might see my mini map there looking a little busy. I was actually able to take all of the transport contracts. And so what I think I can do is load everything up on the trailer, and then I can go around and make deliveries. So this should expedite the process quite a bit. Let me look on the map. I'm trying to plan my route wisely, and I believe all the blinking exclamation marks are where I need to pick things up. So I have 1, 2, 3 along this main route. Then there is one down here. There should be 5 in total, so 4 or 5. So we have one over there. I'm not sure where exactly everything's going, but it looks like nothing's getting delivered over here. So let me grab this one. Then I'll come back down and hit this one. And then I'll come up here and hit these 3. And then any I can deliver along the way, I will do so. So we should make a good chunk of cash today and have enough for our bunker silo and start making silage, which is super exciting because I believe silage is worth a lot more than grass. Really shouldn't pause while I'm driving. I'm going to end up in a river. Let's not do that. Let's take a look at grass. I know it's winter time, so the prices might be a little off, but here's grass, 144. I assume that's per 1,000 liters. Pretty sure it is. And silage is 533. So almost 3 times what grass is worth. So that's going to be really nice. And that's another kind of loaded up and wait kind of thing. So we're definitely going to have some things to fill our time, or else we're going to be sleeping a lot, which I don't really like doing. So it looks like our first pickup is up here at the farmer's market. So I'm going to head up there and get some stuff loaded up. Then we'll hit the interstate again, go down to Grain Silo West, and we can go back to the main drag and pick up everything there. And it looks like I wasn't paying attention at all, and this is not at all where I needed to be. It's actually up there. How do I get up there? Did I miss? Oh, there's a little driveway, it looks like. Could be interesting. Or is this a walking path? Looks like it might be a walking path. I better not do that. Looks like there's a way to get up there around the other side of this hill. Let's try that. Okay, this is the sawmill. So these are going to be some heavy pallets more than likely. Let's see if we can figure out where we need to go to pick them up. Looks like maybe around this side. This trailer really is just gigantic for some of these places that we have to go. Nope, I was wrong. Back here it looks like. Yeah, there we go. Just a few pallets. Nothing too big. We will grab those. I'm even going to leave the truck running because I think we can be very fast. 2,000 liters. Can we do it? Maybe until we lift it up. And we have to leave room for the other pallets that we're going to grab. So I'm going to throw these. I'll throw these on the drop deck here, but we can put the lighter stuff up on that little raised portion. So we have to leave these accessible. There we go. And we'll see if we can't kind of group these loads together. So there's 2. We'll drop another 2 on top. Maybe do one at a time because, let's see, how do we orient those? Like that. Okay. We'll maybe do one at a time because it is a little heavy, I think, but maybe not. We'll see. If we grab 2, we'll go with 2, but if we don't, maybe we'll. It looks like we have 2 again. Okay. That works for me. Can we get this up on top of the other 2? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, yeah, that wasn't great. Always creating more work for myself by not being good. That's a lesson learned. Be good at what you do, and you don't create problems. So someday I will apply that lesson to my transporting business. Go around and pick up this lost pallet, the forgotten pallet of the realm, get him flipped over. Hopefully we can do it. Usually I can kind of do this number, kind of back up. Sometimes you can kind of grab them upside down too. No, it's pretty heavy. So now we have a bunch of extra work that we shouldn't have had just because I knocked the first layer of pallets off. So this is going to be a very long day. There we go. Okay, I'll go put this back where it belongs and then get these last 2 loaded up. And we'll move on to the next pickup. Hopefully we don't run out of room on here. We also have to be wise about how we stack things so that we can access everything that we need when we need it, because otherwise we might end up in a situation where we have to unload. Let's not do it again here, fella. Let's learn our lesson, okay? Might be in a situation where we have to yeah, you just stay right there. We don't want to be in a situation where we have to unload some pallets in order to load more, ideally. So we're going to try to be smart about this. Hopefully we get some lighter pallets and we can load some up on that raised portion of the trailer. And we may not be able to fit all of these. It's very possible that we will not be able to, especially if I pack them like this. But still, doing a couple at a time should be a lot faster because some of them may have similarly located drop-off points. That's what I'm hoping. All right, there's one done. Let's get her loaded back up. Get everything strapped on. Yeah, that's not great. That's okay. We'll be all right. Hopefully we don't lose anything. Now, can we turn around? That's the question. Yes, we can. Wait, I'm supposed to deliver something here? Why is that still blinking? Where's the carpentry at? You know what? I'm not going to worry about where I need to take anything yet. I just want to get everything picked up and we'll go from there. So our next most out of the way one is going to be right down here off the interstate at the grain silo west, I believe. So let's get on down there. Actually, that might be it right over there. That would be awesome. It's not very far at all. Sometimes on the map, things look really far away, but they're not, which is cool. Hopefully there's an exit for me here. Looks like there is up here. Well, that's a strange looking exit. I am not going to go that way because I believe I need to be across this bridge and over on the other side. Yep, right up along the railroad tracks. We might have to off-road a little bit to get over where we need to be. Yeah, that's not the way. So, apparently, it's over here. Didn't expect that to happen, but hey, we're going to off-road a little bit here. Don't think anyone will mind. Our truck's built for it. It'll be fine. Ramp the railroad tracks. That's right. And then there's our next set of pallets to grab. Oh, I'm strapped down. That's why I can't go. Yep. Don't worry. I'm a pro. I know what's up. All right, let's see if we can do this a little bit better. Let's grab 2 at a time, but let's keep them nice and neat. I'm going to broaden my forks here. I really wish I could grab 4 at a time. That would be so nice. Yeah, they're heavy. 2,000 liters seems to be about the maximum we can do. And that's okay. We can deal with that. As long as we can do it, I'm okay with it. Let's see if we can... Man, I wasted a lot of space with those other pallets. I think we can fit all 6 of these kind of side by side up here. I just drop this as far as it'll go, then we'll give him a little shove with the next round of pallets. Oh man, not again. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe this is why people say they don't like handling pallets, because it's really hard to do it neatly. Maybe that's it. But you know what? I kind of like it. I liked it more before I was doing all these transport missions. I really like handling pallets for the greenhouses. That feels a little bit better. They're also not quite as heavy, I don't think. And it might also be partially the equipment you're using. I'm not sure if a skid steer really is the best thing for this. The fork trucks are much, much easier because the pallets don't like change angles as much, it seems like. But I'm not sure if they can lift as much though. How are we doing over there? Not great. Let's see if we can avoid knocking another pallet off this time. Maybe I'll go over and just sort that one out on the edge so that it doesn't get too, so it doesn't fall completely off. Nice and gentle, just a little push. There we go. All right, last two. Let's see if we can grab the both of them and get them loaded up. You know, I really think these transport missions have been great, but doing this many at once, we gotta get a real farm going. The greenhouse is gonna help, silage is gonna help, but we gotta get a real farm going. We can't just be a transporting company, a logistics company for the rest of our life. That's not what we want to do. We want to work the land. We want to till the soil. We want to feed the people. That's what we want to do. So, that being said, today may be the last transport mission for a while. You know, maybe not. I could be wrong. Maybe we'll still need the money. Or maybe we'll find another way to make our ends meet. Oh no. Well, that's not going to be ideal. All right, down. It seemed to like two at a time much better when they were stacked side by side. So that's a lesson learned. I think we can drop these right about here without hopefully knocking the other ones off. Come on, don't rock too much. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. That one went pretty well. All right, so now we have 3 pickups right along the main strip. Let's get those knocked out and then figure out where all this stuff needs to go. Hopefully we'll be able to fit everything on here. If not, you know what? We'll make a couple trips. No big deal. We're passing a drop-off. Let's see what it is. Looks like it is going to be the dairy. So what needs to go there? The bakery stuff needs to go there. I don't have that yet, so we'll pass that one up and get back over there once we have the bakery stuff. That's going to be a tight fit back there. We may have to park on the road. You know, this may have been a little overambitious to try to do all these transport contracts at the same time, but I really wanted to hit our required amount of funds today, and I really want to get that silage pit going as quickly as possible. Hopefully our grass will grow. It feels like it's growing very slow, which is realistic, yes, but I thought for some reason that in this game grass grew during the winter. And maybe it is growing, it's just growing slower than I'd like. All good though. We're gonna drop in here and pick some things up from the grocery store. What do we have today? It's like some cereal maybe? Not sure. And we're burning diesel by leaving this going, but we're not really running out very fast, so I think we're okay. Let's see, what do we have here today? Oh, it's flour. Yeah? No, refined sugar. Nice. I wonder where that's going. Was it 1,000 liters? Are these all 1,000 liters? Yeah, they all seem to be 1,000 liters. I thought there were some lighter ones, but maybe not. So let's get this sugar. If we want to use that higher portion on our trailer, we're definitely going to need to not pick up 2 at a time, which is annoying, but if it's what we got to do, it's what we got to do. Let's get these loaded up. And look at that. It actually looks like someone who knew what they were doing loaded those up there. Not perfect, but definitely better than my other loads. Now, we're getting into a little bit of restricted space here, so we could probably pick up one more order and place them kind of behind the skid steer, I think. Maybe not. But we're probably going to be passing drop-off points at this point, so we'll just keep an eye out for the ones that need to be dropped off as we go by and start unloading. This is getting very heavy. This truck is actually struggling with this trailer now. Hopefully we can take it nice and slow and not flip over. Our next 2 pickups are right here along the main strip. I know we have one at the bakery and then one further on down. Not sure exactly where, but we're going to hit the bakery first probably. Maybe the cakes were the ones that are lighter. Not sure. Oh, actually, the next pickup's right here at the gas station. Well, isn't that convenient? Those look big, but are they empty? Maybe they're empty? That would be nice. We can stack them on top of other things if we want to, but depends on how heavy they are. 100 kilograms? Okay. We may be able to grab a bunch of these at a time. I do have to unfold my trailer, though. Yeah, these are prime candidates to go on top of other stuff. The only problem is then I'll be kind of shuffling things around. Don't really want to do that. If we hit the drop-off point for the thing that's underneath, that would be bad news. Why is that not unfolding? There we go. Yeah, let's bust these out real quick. They're nice and light, so. Yep, and as usual, I gotta unstrap this thing before I can move it. And it's still strapped. Boom. Got it. Let's go. That's gotta be some kind of record. Thank goodness they were light. I think we are out of room, though. I thought we'd be able to fit a little bit more, but looks like 4 transport contracts at a time is kind of the limit. And we're going to have to bump into these a bit. There we go. Luckily, the ramps are small and they fold up easily, even with things kind of in the way. So let's strap everything and fold up and get backed up out of here. Now the question is, where are the old drop-off points? That wasn't the best reverse work I've ever done. That's okay. Let's figure out where we need to go. Where's the closest drop-off point? We have sugar, planks, furniture, and empty pallets or totes. So let's see where we need to go from here. So this is a pickup. Don't need to do that. Do we have a drop-off? We have a drop-off right up here. This is for the spinnery. What do they want? It doesn't say what I'm supposed to be taking there. Gas station needs to go to the BGA, rail silo east. Those are pretty close to each other. And then carpentry. I think those are all over on the east side of the map. So BGA is here. Carpentry, no, grain east is here. And then what are you? Are you the carpentry? No, that's the dairy. So we have 2 over there. Oh, here's the carpentry, I think. Yeah, so let's hit these 3 and get some things unloaded. And then we'll figure out where we're at after that. How many cakes do we have? Is it not cakes this time? It's something different. Okay, I gotta stop and see how heavy it is. Maybe we can throw it on top. What do we have here? Bread. Nope, 1,000 liters. That's way too heavy. We're gonna skip that for now. We don't really have room on the trailer, and I don't want to overload things. The truck's already struggling. So we're headed to the biogas plant first. You know, you would think that by now I would understand that the map is not infinite, and I would quit running into things like the edge of the map. But, you know, I think that it would make things boring if I quit wrecking just all the time. So, cool. Let's go the correct way this time. And I think they want these empty pallets from the gas station. I think. Let's see what they're looking for up here. Nice big parking lot. That's good. Where's the drop off? Right there. Get flipped around here and whoa, there we go. And I am going to turn off the engine for this. Let's make sure what they want. Yep, this is the one. So these empty pallets. Great. Let's unstrap these. Leave everything else strapped for now except for our skid steer. I do have to unfold. I wonder if it'll let me complete the contract with the pallets stacked like this. I feel like it didn't on one that I tried to do, so we'll just wait and see. It also may have been because the pallet that time was actually on its side. It wasn't just stacked. Or if they have to be upright, which, to be fair, if I was paying someone to transport goods, I would not want my goods to be upside down or on their sides. I would want things to be done well if they expect payment. Let's drop this in. Let's see if they deem that worthy. No. Okay, so they do have to all be on the ground, which is slightly annoying. Not the worst thing in the world. Luckily, these are nice and light, so should be able to quickly get these arranged properly. Hey, it said it's done. Let's see. First cache of the day, of our marathon transport day. Perfect. Now we have room for the bakery goods if we end up passing back that way. But I figure we'll go ahead and hit all the deliveries that are on this side of the map first, and then head back over there to finish the day out. Well, we just spent all day doing transport contracts, and the last one shorted me. I should have been at 28,000 by now. So the last little bit of income I need should come from this lettuce here. Our first pallet of lettuce we've ever sold from our greenhouse. So it is a momentous occasion. And because the restaurant just down the hill buys this, I'm just going to take it straight down there with the old skid steer and drop it off. It really is a bummer that that contract shorted me. Maybe it was because half of their pallets were upside down. I don't know. Maybe there is like a realism element to it. I should maybe check on that. Either way, we made a bunch of money, and we're going to be able to place our bunker silo, which is very exciting. That's going to open up a huge income stream for us, hopefully. And we're well equipped to haul silage, so we won't need any additional equipment to start making more money from our grass. All we'll have to do is just wait on the grass to start growing more, which the fields are growing very slowly for some reason. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but let's see, where do we drop this off at? Is it here? Hopefully it's here. Do you want some lettuce? Hello, I have some lettuce for you. Fantastic. There it goes. One little bundle at a time. And $27,818. And holy moly, that was a good bit of income. $1,500 from 500 liters? I thought that we were going to need 1,000 liters to make $1,500. So, hey, that's promising. The greenhouse is going to be a really good income stream. And I think we almost have another pallet ready. So I'm going to park this guy here because I want to finish out the day with placing our bunker silo. We don't have any grass to put in there yet, but you know what? It's progress. That's what makes this game fun, right? Slow, incremental progress. So let's go to construction, silos. Let's go over to the cheapest bunker silo. I think it's this one. I think there are some cheaper ones on ModHub, but I'll just stick with this one. Let's see if we can get it to go. And oh no, is it going to charge us a bunch of money to terraform and not let us afford it? Let's see. See if we can find a flat enough area. That should be pretty decent. Not enough money. Let's keep looking here. Maybe we'll find a spot where we can afford it. Yeah, this land's not very level by any means. Don't want to take up a bunch of my grass field because I am going to need that. I thought there was a spot over here where I could fit it. Like here maybe? But that's definitely not very level. So it is going to charge me some money to level out this land. Okay, so I popped out to ModHub to find one that was reasonably affordable and that I could actually place. So I think this location right here on my land is about as good as it's going to get. There's going to be some deformation of the property. Oh yeah, maybe we can go all the way down here. Forgot I owned all this. Yeah, we'll go down here and then it doesn't get in the way of anything too much. I'm not sure if it's going to bring land up or push land down when I place this, but that being the case, there's this silo. There's also this one. I don't know what the difference is. They look like they're the same size. They might just have a different appearance. We also have the little one. That's kind of cool. I don't know what its capacity is going to be, but that might be a better bet actually, because then we don't have to use up all our money. That would be awesome. Let's start with this. And then if we run out of space, we can always make adjustments. I also like that it has a back, so it should be harder to overload. Oh, and we can add another one later. Awesome. All right, let's see what the capacity is on that. And yeah, I'm driving my skid steer over because it is a little bit faster than walking, and that's pretty far away. And it did mess up the lands too bad. Looks pretty good. We are going to have a little bit of a dip getting in there, but nothing too bad. It doesn't really say its capacity, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. We're just going to have to give it a shot and see how it goes. But I think that's going to be it for today. Now it's just a matter of waiting for this grass to grow. Hopefully, we have enough lettuce production to actually cover our leasing costs and upkeep costs, and we won't have to do a bunch more transport contracts, though one a day or so is fine. And if we're not doing a lot, we might be able to actually downgrade our truck, maybe not the truck, but the flatbed trailer to something a little more reasonable, because we really will only be transporting a little bit of lettuce here and there, depending on how big our lettuce production empire grows. So I'm gonna head over here to my tent. It's a beautiful February day, and I'm gonna go to sleep even though it's the afternoon, and I will see you next time on Spellhammer Farms.